Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the TimeSeries Siemens Mendix webinar, Make Your Business Smarter. How can TimeSeries and low-code platform Mendix make you successful? We have a lot of attendees today. I would like to ask you to mute yourself. We can do it for you, but please have a look in your GoToMeeting settings to mute yourself. Makes it a lot easier. We're very excited. As of October 2019, Mendix was part of the Siemens family, was acquired by Siemens as the low-code platform moving forward, which brings a tremendous amount of opportunity for everybody involved in the ecosystem, and obviously also the partners as well as the customers of Siemens, Mendix and TimeSeries. So what we wanted to do today in the next 50-60 minutes is to bring you up to speed on what Mendix is all about, low code, an introduction. We'll bring you up to speed on TimeSeries. We are the #1 partner of Mendix in the last 6-7 years. And then obviously, how do we connect Mendix TimeSeries in the Siemens ecosystem, and how can we help you being successful with your own propositions internally within Siemens, but also externally towards your partners and your customers? Where's the value for them? So let's start with a quick round of introductions. If you have any questions during this webinar, please use the chat function. Write down your actual question or your comment, and then we'll make sure to address it at the end of this webinar, and we can also reach out to you one-on-one after this webinar. All right, let's get started. Quick round of introduction. So on my end, Vincent de Lamar, I actually lead the sales organization here at TimeSeries, but have over 11 years Mendix experience. I actually started together with Mendix CEO Dirk Roos, the US office for Mendix back in 2008. So I have a lot of experience in bringing Mendix to customers and the partner ecosystem. So happy to join TimeSeries now and help the ecosystem to take this to the next level. Joining us today as well is Matt Segur. Matt, welcome. You want to do a quick introduction on your end?
Sure thing, Vince. Good to meet everyone. Matthew Seeger here. I'm Managing Director for TimeSeries North America. My background is really in basically the big data space and analytics and operationalizing that within businesses. Again, I'm very excited to join you all today.
Great. Yetro, can we do a quick introduction on your end as well? We're thrilled to have you and participate in this webinar.
Sure, thanks Vince. My name is Yetro Borsje. I'm from the Netherlands, at least I'm based there. I'm CTO of TimeSeries. I've been with the company almost since the very beginning. And my role in the company is to make sure we make the right choices from a technical perspective. And I'm leading our innovation team. And that team is basically focused on leveraging IoT, big data, machine learning, and artificial intelligence together with Mendix to create what we call smart applications, which we'll get to talk about later in this session as well.
Great. So let's go over what we'll discuss in the next 55 minutes or so. So a quick background of who is TimeSeries, what do we offer, and how do we fit within the Mendix ecosystem. For those not familiar with Mendix, we have a few slides, a little bit of background, an introduction of Mendix low-code platform. Why is it so powerful and how can you use it? And then what I believe is the most powerful part of this session, Mendix related to Siemens, right? So on top of Teamcenter, on top of MindSphere and other Siemens products. We also have 2 demos. One is actually recorded, directly available. It's an actual demo on top of SAP and Teamcenter, so a Mendix application on top of those 2 systems of record on the back end. You can use that directly. It's publicly available, and I'll show you today how you can use that for partners or prospects or customers. And then Yetro will actually also do a live demo, an IoT demo today, which is very exciting to see. And then last, we'll make it very concrete. What can we offer? How can we help you? And we'll end this session with a live Q&A. So let's move on. Let's do a quick introduction of TimeSeries. Matt, where did it all start, and who actually is TimeSeries?
Yes, thanks. So TimeSeries, we got our start roughly about 7 years ago. What we did at that point was really to fill a need in the marketplace as it related to smart meter data in the energy utility marketplace within the Netherlands. So we put together a stack of open source technologies that allowed us to take in, really large volumes of fine-grained time series data, hence the company name TimeSeries. And then we took that to market with a couple of energy customers in the Netherlands. And then a couple of years later, the customer base began reaching back out to us around how do they sort of take the data and the analytics that was being generated, how do they actually sort of do a better job of informing their business, their customer base, as well as to allow them to take action on that data. And so we needed a quick way to enable those two components. And TimeSeries being in Rotterdam, Mendix getting its start in Rotterdam, it was pretty easy to put the two organizations together, and that's how we discovered Mendix. Since then, we have built out a significant practice in serving the marketplace, not only in the Netherlands and Europe, but as well as here in North America to deliver Mendix solutions. So we are a global solution partner with Mendix. We do have a very leading market position in that space, and that is really driven by our high quality focus in delivery. We have very talented people. We are international. Of course, it's really fun to play within our organization. So for us, we are represented in 7 offices across the US, Canada, the Netherlands, and in Germany. At this time, we've been able to service over 100 enterprise customers, everything from large utility providers to manufacturers to mid-sized logistics, insurers. So we're really a cross-vertical type of organization. As Vince had mentioned, we are the #1 partner for Mendix. And that is really based on the high quality that we are able to deliver within that platform and the talent we have within our organization. And including that, we do have the largest number of Mendix MVPs within the TimeSeries organization. Over our several years in this space, we have completed hundreds of successful project implementations with Mendix. So you can imagine, based on that experience and the number of consultants we bring to bear, we're looking at years of experience within this sector. So we can take a closer look at what we have to offer more specifically.
Yep, absolutely. And what I understand, the company has been also growing and actually, triple-digit numbers, doubling every year. So it's definitely on the path of growth within the low-code space in combination with other data sources. Let's talk a little bit about what TimeSeries offers. Matt, anything in particular you would like to discuss here, and anything that sets us apart in the industry?
Yeah, sure thing. So, of course, the Mendix side of this world, but also we have a very unique market position in our Smart App Suite. So we sort of really organize ourselves around these two areas, which is our Smart App Suite, and then of course our Smart App Center of Excellence. So the Smart App Suite, we'll start there, consists of a number of configurable Smart App templates. We have implemented these things with over 100 global customers across a broad spectrum of industries, as I've mentioned, energy and utilities, facility management, manufacturing, transportation, logistics, healthcare, and others. The templates are all based on Mendix, but what we've done is we've combined them with other open source advanced technologies, and that what really creates these as smart apps. And we have, at this time, smart apps focused on some specific use cases around automated planning, field services, predictive maintenance, smart warehousing, including asset management and tracking. And what we can do is we can customize each of these smart app templates within the industry that they're being applied and those specific business scenarios, as well as to add additional functionalities to each of these templates through our Smart App Center of Excellence. So what you get is really the speed and the sort of ease of like an off-the-shelf type of solution, but with the flexibility and agility of custom coding for each of these apps. So not only do we deliver the sort of the Mendix apps in a matter of days and weeks, which is significantly faster than traditional development means, but we also provide other services related to that, things around like governance, enterprise and solution architecture, but we also provide Mendix training and enablement. So many of our existing client base looks for ways that they can enhance the abilities of their own internal teams, and we provide that through our services, as well as delivering a number of different kinds of workshops across that. So, the TimeSeries Smart App Suite, together with our Center of Excellence, really offers a unique, I guess, best of both worlds scenario for our customers that allows them to get really up to speed within Mendix very, very quickly.
Yeah, great. And yeah, one additional comment there. If we look at what customers are asking for, it's really speed, right? Prove Mendix and prove technology out very rapidly. And with these templates, within a matter of weeks, you have these applications completely configured, customized towards your needs, implemented. With my 11, 12 years experience, I can honestly state that it is extremely powerful and changing the status quo. Outside of these templates, Matt, because it's not only about these templates, right? It's also custom projects outside of these domains. Is that correct? Based on the Center of Excellence, so simply rapid application delivery on the Mendix platform?
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, across operations, building, enterprise applications within, say, HR groups, finance, field operations, if you will. It's really, we really sort of excel at understanding our clients' businesses, developing a deep understanding of their processes, the challenges that they face, and then helping them to design, build, and implement specific applications to meet those business needs.
Yep, great. Thanks for that overview, and that's much appreciated. I see some beautiful logos here, over 100 customers, part of a TimeSeries, but also obviously the Mendix ecosystem. Examples from energy like Eneco, oil and gas, ConocoPhillips, manufacturers like Mitsubishi and DSM. A lot of reference customers. So simply we have to connect the dots. So for those attending today, let's absolutely start a dialogue where we can help. Now let's have a closer look at Mendix. Let's shift gears. For those not familiar with Mendix, also known now, obviously, Siemens low code. It's part of the Siemens family. Yetro, what is Mendix, and what can it actually do for you?
Yeah, thanks, Vince. Well, Mendix was created by the founders out of a frustration, really, because IT in general is too slow in keeping up with the needs of the business. And what they found when they were using, let's say, old-fashioned or regular technology, and when they were building applications, it was that one problem was it was too slow to create these applications. But once they were there, they were also often not up to the expectations of their customers. And they decided, well, let's try to see if we can make an application development platform which we can use to allow our developers to be able to create applications faster and also to be able to collaborate better with the business. So what you see in reality is that there are high demands for new applications. The business, they want to evolve, they want to introduce new products or new services to the market, and they want to have quick go-to-markets because you want to beat the competition. Well, at the same time, they want to prevent churn, for example. So they need to make all their existing services more digital as well. So this is the business need. While on the other end, the IT departments, they struggle because they have to maintain all these big core systems. You may have SAP or other big systems of record which they need to maintain and operate. Well, at the same time, their business is knocking on their door saying, hey guys, we need new applications, and they struggle to keep up. Even more so because all this data which is in their big core systems, this is very valuable, but it's usually hard to integrate with. So IT has many challenges and business only wants to go faster, and this is actually the problem which Mendix tries to solve. So the question is, how does Mendix solve that problem? Well, Mendix in essence is what they call a low-code platform. This means that instead of really programming your applications, you model them, you visually create them. So you look at screens like you see in the pictures here in front of you. You create workflows by drag and dropping decision markers, for example, on your screen. And behind the scenes, your application gets generated. So instead of thinking about the syntax of programming languages, about complex architectural decisions, developers working with Mendix are much more involved in thinking about how does the business operate, and they're much more engaged in terms of how can we create business value instead of how can we solve very complex technical challenges. What this means is that instead of focusing all of these hardcore technical things, these developers can collaborate with their business users much easier. Mendix comes with a set of tools which also allows your business users to collaboratively work with the IT teams in building applications, for example, leaving feedback in applications or even co-developing them. So this very tight collaboration, it makes sure that you meet the needs and expectations of your customers. At the same time, because this platform allows you to not program but more model, you create applications much faster because you're no longer concerned with low-level technical stuff. Lots of things are facilitated for you. For example, like you see in the pictures on the left side, creating an application which works both on your tablet and on your mobile phone. That's really facilitated by Mendix as a platform because you have all kinds of tools to be able to quickly create screens which work on all kinds of devices. Well, in the past, these were all manual coding exercises which could take out weeks or even longer. Now you do these things in a matter of days. And this in turn leads to being much more resource efficient. Well, in the past, we saw our customers having to hire big development teams. Right now, usually a team of Mendix developers is 2 or 3 people, sometimes even 1, quickly building these applications instead of having to hire these big teams, which makes it, of course, much more resource effective. And this allows IT departments to get up to speed with the rate of change that the business is demanding from them. Besides all of that, UI UX is a focus point. So in the past, applications may not have looked very beautiful. Right now, you can build omni-channel applications, so focusing on web applications, on mobile devices, on tablets, also on laptops and desktop computers. And you can also focus on making them shine from a user interface perspective.
So it really is an all-in-one platform. Is it full stack development, or is there a specific area where the Mendix platform focuses on?
That's a good question. As a platform, Mendix focuses on all types of devices. So it's not only working on one device; it works on all devices. It's full stack in that way, and it allows you to create even native applications with Mendix 8, the latest version, which was recently released. You can even use Mendix to create from one domain model, from one model in your modeler. You can create a web application for on a laptop, and at the same time also create a fully native application which runs on both iPhones and Android phones, which can even leverage native mobile device features, such as integrations with RFID readers, for example, or all kinds of sensors. So it's really a full stack experience from a developer perspective, but also, of course, for our customers.
Very good. So data model, logic layer, as well as the UI UX component. Very
Exactly.
Good. So let's move on to what you can actually deliver on the platform. What type of applications, and then also obviously related to the work that we've done with our Smart App Suite.
Yes, as a platform, Mendix does not focus on one particular industry per se. It's more like a toolbox which you can use to create all kinds of applications. At TimeSeries, we created what we call our Smart App Suite, which is comprised out of various what we call Smart App templates. These are our quick start applications, which we built with Mendix on top of our own open source technologies. And we use these to quick start application development in various domains. Of course, the capabilities of Mendix and of TimeSeries are not limited to these domains, but these are the areas of expertise where we excel at and where we see lots of traction going on in the market right now. So as you can see here, and I will briefly explain a few later, but if you see here, these are our Smart App templates, and they all leverage out-of-the-box connectivity with these core systems of records. So integrations with, for example, SAP or Microsoft Dynamics, for example, or Oracle, but also with tools or systems such as Teamcenter or MindSphere. All of these systems can be used in a Mendix application. You can get all of the data out, and you can create very rich workflows and user interfaces around all of this data, which can still reside in the backend systems. So the goal is not to remove these backend systems, but the goal is to enrich their capabilities by leveraging their data and combining it with other sources.
It's almost unlocking the value of your backend systems. Very good.
Yes, and bringing it to the mobile world, to the more modern user interfaces, and combining data across the data silos. Yes.
Yes, and these are just examples that companies can directly use. So this is already live, but obviously this is growing as we see a need. Let's take this a level deeper, Yetro. Can you make this more concrete? Maybe zoom in on a few of these templates so we get a couple of example cases and take us to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I will talk you through a few of our Smart App templates to give you an idea of what we're talking about when we're using Mendix to help our customers reach their digital dreams, basically. The first one, automated planning. This case is about, or this template is about optimizing resource plannings. So you should think about, for example, the area of field service engineers, people who are actively in the field. The question there is which mechanics do I give which service requests, and how do I allocate these tasks efficiently across my entire workforce, taking into account real-time GPS data from the mechanical vans, taking into account real-time traffic information, their certification levels, the predicted repair times, all those kinds of things. We combine all that information. We use our own TimeSeries planning engine, which is based on artificial intelligence, and we create optimal resource plannings. That's an example of a case we've built for example, Van Dorp, one of our customers, where we optimize a workforce of, I think, 900 mechanics in one go. The second case is about intelligent insight. This is actually, like Matt also discussed, where it all started for TimeSeries. So with this application template, we allow our customers, lots of them in the energy world, as you can see by the logos, we allow our end users to gain insights into vast amounts of data, for example, related to energy consumption of buildings, of office spaces, or also of shipyards or of factories, but at the same time also for small and medium enterprises or even consumers, where we load in millions and millions of TimeSeries data every day in our IT platform. And we visualize all of that in Mendix applications where we can have real-time insights, proactive notifications, like push notifications to phones, those kinds of situations. And this allows our customers to create new business models, because now all of a sudden they can make sense out of these vast amounts of data and engage their customers with this data. Predictive maintenance. Well, this is always an interesting thing, and I think it's people are talking in the industry about this for years, obviously, but nowadays with low-cost connectivity and many sensors, it's becoming a reality on a very large scale. What we did is we've built a Mendix application, and I will show you this one actually in a few minutes with live data from elevators. Well, we use Mendix to create an application which shows dashboards and all kinds of also connected workflows to allow our customers to see when their assets are in need of maintenance. So for example, we predict an elevator is about to break down, so we can make sure we schedule just-in-time maintenance jobs. And this, of course, reduces the number of maintenance jobs across the year, which is a huge money saver. But at the same time, we also increase the uptime of the assets we monitor. And Mendix is the tool which brings it all together for the mechanics, for the end users, to be able to gain all the insights. And finally, and this for now is our smart warehousing solution. That's something which is also being used a lot in shipyards, for example, but also on construction sites. This is all about transparency on where your inventory is. So, of course, many companies have an inventory system, but as long as you do not fully connect your inventory systems to the physical world, items tend to get lost. So what we did is we are leveraging RFID technology and also barcode and QR code scanning in production processes and in warehouses, where we say we always know where your inventory items are, because with RFID we can scan them in bulk. So, for example, we use RFID scanning equipment at entrance and exit points in warehouses, where if a lorry passes by, we scan the contents of the crates on the lorry, and then we know which items are either leaving or entering the warehouse. And then we're automatically updating their status and locations in the ERP systems. And with Mendix, we've created all the orchestration across these RFID scanners, but are also able to give all kinds of visualizations on how the items are moving throughout warehouses, for example. We're also leveraging things like RFID printers, which can be used to create new RFID tags. So Mendix is really about orchestrating these workflows.
Okay, great. And I know that you can go 3, 4, 5 levels deeper into this, but let's move on. A lot to cover. We definitely want to also show some of the demos. There are a lot more templates coming, right? So we're working proactively with Mendix and Siemens in the ecosystem, and we also do a lot of custom projects on the Mendix platform. So for those who have a need or an idea, please feel free to reach out and we'll look into this. Let's move on. So let's make it a little bit more specific towards Siemens. So Mendix acquired last year by Siemens, really as a low-code platform to enrich the existing solutions that Siemens already have. Specifically, we will talk about Mendix on top of Teamcenter and Mendix on top of MindSphere. There's a great fit there in terms of extending with offline mobile capabilities, for instance. But Yetro, as an expert, Teamcenter and Mendix, how does it work, and what are some of the use cases that you've seen that are successful?
Yeah, well, Mendix is the perfect fit on top of Teamcenter, of course, because it allows you to create these very modern and at the same time also personalized applications and personalized workflows. So including indeed mobile devices and offline support. So what we are seeing in practice now is that Teamcenter is really good at the tasks for which it was designed. However, our customers, or mostly our end users, they have a need which is broader than what only Teamcenter can deliver. So what we see is when you connect MindSphere on top of Teamcenter, and you connect, Mendix on top of Teamcenter, and you connect Mendix at the same time to, for example, SAP or other systems, you can start to combine all this data. You can give your end users this personalized, contextualized workflows. So instead of thinking about data silos and having your users logging into an ERP and to Teamcenter and maybe to other systems, we let our users work in Mendix. We give them the workflow they need for their daily routine. So if this morning, for example, I will show you this in a bit, your task is I need to replace a certain part in a physical device. Instead of having to check first the inventory in SAP and then later on having to log into Teamcenter to update my bill of materials, we can have this Mendix application which facilitates this in terms of a workflow. You, as a user, you no longer have to think about SAP and Teamcenter being the separate systems. You no longer have to struggle through big, complex user interfaces. You connect the ERP and the PLM system, for example. We give the users a personalized, focused user interface, working on mobile phones, working in an offline setting if they need to, and we allow them to do their job using maybe some more advanced workflows based on who they are, where they are, And this really allows you to create really rich user interfaces, rich experiences for your users, and facilitate them in doing their work in a really efficient way, while at the same time leveraging all that data functionality which you have under the hood in Teamcenter.
Great. That's a very powerful value proposition here that I think everybody in the Siemens ecosystem should be aware of to bring this across to their customers that are already using products like Teamcenter. Let's move on to MindSphere. There's a lot of talk about MindSphere. It's a very central core proposition in the IoT space for Siemens. How does Mendix and how does TimeSeries add value in that particular space?
Yeah, that's a very interesting topic. Well, when we were at Mendix World earlier this year, we won the Siemens Innovation Hackathon by integrating a Bluetooth paint thickness scanner or reader with Mendix and putting the data in MindSphere and then visualizing it again in the Mendix application. And this is really like, it's of course a basic use case, but it's a prime example of how I see both MindSphere and Mendix collaboratively moving forward, because obviously MindSphere is the place to be when we're talking about industrial IoT. However, as an IoT platform, and we speak from personal experience because we started, of course, in the world of big data and IoT when we founded TimeSeries. So what you see is that if you only have an IoT platform, it's still only very technical. But if you start to combine this with Mendix and all of its advanced workflow, user interface, and mobile features, you can really make this data come to life, and you can turn these vast amounts of data into valuable insights for your end users and for your business. So how we see Mendix moving forward is that Mendix will be like an orchestration and visualization layer on top of MindSphere, where we can combine data from different data sources, where we can create or read all the analytics from MindSphere and create meaningful information out of this for end users. Well, so we can leverage actually the MindSphere intelligence and the Mendix way of building workflows and rich user interfaces together. And this will be a whole new world, I think, in the next few years, especially if you combine this even further with Teamcenter.
Yeah. And TimeSeries is definitely on the front end in terms of the innovations, right? So a smart group of people working with great technology is a combination that's very valuable. Great. A lot of talk. Let's actually show what this is all about. So let's move on to a few demos that we've built on the TimeSeries side that you can directly use. And with you, I mean Siemens and the Siemens partner ecosystem. What's the first demo that we will show today, Yetro?
Our first demo will be about what we call workflows in the area of SLM, service lifecycle management, where we have combined data from both Teamcenter and SAP in a Mendix application, including mobile and offline support. And we leverage that data, we combine it, so we make an integrated view across these core systems. And we allow users to do the part replacement process. And we have this demo on video.
Yeah. So what we see here, I just switched screens to a browser, the Siemens, the TimeSeries website. There's a Siemens menu here where we actually describe how we add value in the MindSphere and the Teamcenter landscape. At the bottom here, you will find a video, again, that you can directly use. So let's take a few minutes to have a look at this, and then we move on to an actual live demo as well. I think, Yetro, you also prepared a live demo, correct?
Yeah, for sure. I will show you a live IoT data demo in a bit.
Okay, let's show this one first.
During this demo, we will show the integration between SAP, Siemens Teamcenter, and Mendix. With Mendix, we create applications which focus on process-oriented workflows. This allows your workforce to focus on the tasks at hand instead of being bothered with using applications such as SAP and Teamcenter. We believe these core systems have very strong features, but there are processes which cross the borders of these individual systems. During these business processes, users need to read and update information in various systems at the same time, which is complex and error-prone. In this demo, we will show a small piece of the service lifecycle management process, the replacement of parts in a physical asset. In order to do this, the technician needs to use inventory information from SAP, as well as the as-maintained bill of materials from Teamcenter. During this demo, we will switch between the Mendix application, SAP, and Teamcenter in order to show that the integration works as intended. In real-life use cases, the user will not have to bother with SAP and Teamcenter, as Mendix takes care of the integration between these systems. When the technician logs in, he immediately sees all tickets related to machines for which he is responsible. This ticket information can be retrieved from Teamcenter. The technician can research a bill of materials from Teamcenter and visualize it in the Mendix application. As you can see, the line items of the bill of material lines are exactly the same. The technician is going to replace one of the parts of the asset with a spare part which is available in stock. Mendix will request the available inventory from SAP and ask the technician which part he would like to use as the replacement. As you can see here in SAP, the number of inventory items are the same as what is displayed in the Mendix application. The technician selects a part to use for replacement. With one click of a button, Mendix will decrease the available number of spare parts in SAP and update the bill of materials with the new serial number. As you can see here, the inventory is decreased by 1 in SAP. And as you can see here in Teamcenter, the serial number has been updated. By focusing on the business process instead of the separate systems, it is easy for the technician to keep the as-maintained bill of materials up to date. With Mendix, we can do much more than just changing inventory and updating a bill of materials. Mendix can also be used to show comprehensive 3D designs of the asset for which the technician is responsible. This 3D information can be related to the bill of materials, inventory in SAP, or even IoT, for example, Siemens MindSphere. As you can see here, IoT data can be visualized in Mendix. This gives a technician a comprehensive view of the state of the asset. As a final part of this demo, we will show the power of Mendix as a platform for developing omnichannel applications. With Mendix, you can build applications not only for desktops or laptops, but also for mobile devices such as tablets and phones. The Mendix apps automatically adjust themselves based on the device on which it is being used. It is also possible to create workflows which are specifically tailored towards mobile device usage in the field. As you can see, our technician is now using the application on his mobile device, where he's going to address a specific issue which has been reported by his customer. He selects the issue, after which he can add notes and pictures based on what he encounters when arriving on site. When the issue is fixed, the technician can add additional comments and pictures, and then is prompted by the app if he's replaced parts of the machine. This will again connect the app to the SAP and Teamcenter in order to update both inventory and the bill of materials. Finally, the app allows the customer to sign off on the repair job. Mendix employs an offline-first approach to mobile device app design, which means it is possible to work offline in remote locations and sync data to the cloud later when connectivity is available. Furthermore, Mendix can interact with native mobile device features such as the camera, GPS, NFC, Bluetooth, etc. In this demo, you have seen how we use Mendix to connect both SAP and Siemens Teamcenter to create process-oriented workflows. This application incorporates information from Teamcenter, such as issues, 3D information, and the bill of materials, as well as data from SAP related to inventory. This app also works on mobile devices where device-specific workflows and features are used to facilitate field technicians during their daily routines, even in locations where connectivity is not available. If you'd like more information about this solution, feel free to contact us via info@timeseries.com. For our complete Smart App suite, visit suite.timeseries.com.
Yeah, Yetro, we've seen a lot. Typically, this takes a half year, a year to actually deliver. What have we seen, and why is this so powerful?
Well, what you've seen is Mendix creating cross data silo based applications where we were able to connect to these really fundamental core systems inside an organization. So this means getting access to these core systems allows you to be really rich in terms of creating combinations out of this. And once you do this, you start to let me minimize. You really start to be able to unlock use cases and potential which you've never seen before, because once you start to be able to combine Teamcenter data with SAP data, for example, and even bringing it to mobile devices, you are able to facilitate your customers in ways they've never been able to experience, even because they are just so used to having these types of data fully separated. So the value is in being able to leverage all of this data in the systems, combining it and creating new workflows out of it.
Yeah, and then literally in a matter of days and weeks, right? Which is all based on
Yeah,
the
what you've
power.
seen now is a project of just a few weeks, including the mobile app, including all the styling, including all the integrations. So this has not been a project with, and that was a project of one guy, by the way. So this has not been a project with an entire team for a year. No, it was one guy building this in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, amazing. Let's move on to a live demo. I think you've prepared something related to elevators. What's the use case we will walk everybody through, and why is that so powerful?
Yeah, well, what you guys are seeing on your screen right now, obviously just a login page, but I will show you a demo of our predictive maintenance smart app template. But it contains real data. So yes, it's a demo, but it contains real data of actual elevators right here in the Netherlands. And what you will see is that we can use Mendix in combination with a vast amount of IoT data and create predictions on when we expect that the elevator is in need of maintenance. Of course, this is a simplified example, but it will give you an idea of what Mendix is all about. So when you log in, the typical question everybody asks us, where are my assets? So here you see a map of the Netherlands, and in this demo we have, I think, 9 or 10 elevators with real data. So this is where the elevators are. And when you click on an elevator, the system will right away tell you when we think an elevator is in need of maintenance. The system predicts based on the previous maintenance dates and the number of rides that this elevator needs maintenance in 123 days. And of course, we can also show you a list of all the elevators we have. And on the top of the list here is the elevator which is in need of maintenance, the 19th, so 1 or 2 days from now. And if you open such an elevator, you will get to see all kinds of details. So this is interesting because what you see here today, this elevator did over 500 rides. And here you see the number of rides the elevator did. But if you zoom out in time, for example, here you can see the number of rides per day. You can browse through all of that, and you can even see the number of rides per month. And as you can see how quick it is here, the elevator rides are like 112,000 rides this year. We loaded that in like a split second. So here you see Mendix leveraging IoT data in a really fast way. And it's all about giving your customers insight in this type of data. So instead of giving them huge amounts, we make sure they get only what they need. And we allow them to, in this case, mechanics and service desk employees, we allow them to have real-time visibility on how their assets are behaving. So if you go back to today, 17th, you can see here that it's now 5 in the Netherlands, so between 5 and 6 European time here in Amsterdam, you can see that the elevator moved in total 5 times, 3 times up, 2 times down. So it's real-time data. If a new ride happens, data pops in right away, and we can visualize all of that in Mendix and make it really insightful. Of course, it's a simple explanation. In reality, we can do a lot more with this kind of data. For example, integrating it with Teamcenter. This is of course not an elevator, but a simplified pump. But we can integrate it with Teamcenter, get, for example, the 3D imagery again out of Teamcenter and show a mechanic, well, this is how your asset is behaving, but also this is how it looks from a design perspective. And if you have sensors, for example, specific to this valve here, you can even connect IoT data specifically to one of those components. So this is really where you see the interconnection of Mendix on top of additional systems and combining it all and creating really valuable insights.
Yeah, you make a good comment, right? In terms of these are template starting points, seeing is moving, right? So these demos are directly available and these applications can directly be implemented, but 9 out of 10 times, you do see integration with different backend systems. You do see different workflows or screens, which you can do extremely quickly since it's all based on a platform. So that's an important comment to make. Anything else you want to show here, Yetro, or shall we move on?
Well, one more thing you need is important to understand that it's key that with Mendix you can quickly customize these templates, because at the end of the day, Mendix is about rapid application development. So quickly customizing these templates and making them unique for the customers is a key part of the process usually, because these will be systems of differentiation. You will usually use these set of applications to make your customers unique, and you leverage what is there, and then you make it specific for the case of your customer. I think it's really important to understand.
Yep. Okay, great. Well, thank you for that overview. Much appreciated, and I'm sure there's a lot of questions related to this as well. In the interest of time, let's move on. We've got 10-15 minutes left here. Matt, let's go back to you. A quick recap what we can offer from the TimeSeries side to Siemens sales reps, engineers, project folks, but obviously also the ecosystem.
Great, thanks, Vince. Yeah, there's a couple of areas that we can certainly support the Siemens organization. Of course, rapid delivery, right? That's building applications on top of the Siemens solutions, utilizing the Mendix platform. Of course, supporting the organization with our own smart app suite. Again, highly customizable, configurable templates that can rapidly deliver some use cases to the customer base. And then supporting the sales organization. Our longstanding position within the Mendix ecosystem, together with our really class-leading expertise within this space, really gives the Siemens organization an opportunity to take advantage of the knowledge we do have to support those sales efforts.
At the end of the day, it's still a people business. So you make a very good point there, Matt. We also offer pilot packages to lower the barrier to start. Can you walk us through what a pilot package actually is?
Yeah, sure thing. So this really sort of speaks again to the Mendix platform and one of its value propositions, which is quickly enabling applications across an enterprise. And there's sort of ways to do that, right? You need to start somewhere. So we've taken that and we've developed a TimeSeries pilot package, which is really to help organizations really get that first start. That really comes in a couple of different components here. One of it is starts with is a design sprint. So it's really that in-depth effort over 2 days to build out a foundation for the project success through a structured approach to actually define what those build requirements are. The design sprint it's time boxed, right? So you need to focus the efforts without wasting time. It allows us to record ideas, so continually capturing ideas that will end up in that end result application. It allows us to prioritize, so you can focus the value by doing the most important and urgent items first. And then, of course, it's powered by Google Ventures. So what we've done is we've utilized an industry standard thought up by the core innovators at Google. That rolls then into our expert app delivery component. Really, it's we can bring our TimeSeries experts within Mendix application development to design, build, and deliver the application. And then another component really is portfolio workshops. So you've got your first application. Now you want to build on that momentum. So what else can the organization start to do? And that's this portfolio workshop. So it's really driving the idea to value by structuring ideas into projects and then leveraging the speed and accuracy of Mendix, of which it's intended to do. That really allows for faster development. So again, leveraging that Mendix rapid application development as it was intended. You get some rapid ideation, so matching that speed of development with proven ideation methods. You get a single truth. So again, you're sort of leveraging the best ideas in the organization and you're evaluating them all in one place. And then really value driven. Resources are always constrained in organizations. So, we try to focus on doing the most with the least amount of effort. And then on the other side, there are other areas we can bring through our TimeSeries University through enablement and other workshops that we can deliver.
Great. Very powerful. Make it easy to start with Mendix, TimeSeries, and Siemens. Whether you use the templates or not, you can also start with a custom project. There are 1 year pilot licenses available. Standard and Mendix license is 3 years, but for pilot packages, exceptions can be made. Again, to make it easy to start. In my experience, it really is about showing and getting a first project in the door. And that really proves out the value of the platform. So that's what we're intending to do here. Looking forward to working with everybody. You mentioned TimeSeries University, right? Which is really about enablement. So we enable customers as well, right? This isn't only about TimeSeries bringing in Mendix developers. Can you spend a minute maybe on enablement?
Yeah, sure thing. So, Mendix is a new way of delivering applications across your enterprise, right? So, there are experiences that we have as an organization in this space that we can impart through things like governance. So actually building the programmatic needs within an organization. So, again, helping companies define and redefine how they're going to deliver applications through that experience. One of the other areas is, we've had to develop the expertise within our own team. So we have our own fast forward program. So we have been able to sort of package that up and deliver it to a number of our client base across the globe here to really get their internal dev teams enabled within the Mendix platform. So things like workshops, trainings, but more importantly, guided builds. So, our clients, developers are actually doing the development, but it's being guided by one of our experts along the way. So it's really imparting that knowledge directly onto that team.
Yep. Great. And it truly is about a partnership. This isn't a one-time solution you bring across. This is really about an ongoing partnership. So thank you, Matt, for highlighting that. We have a few minutes to go. So I want to move over to the Q&A. There were questions asked in terms in the chat. If you have any questions, please do add that to the chat. Specifically, security. There are some questions around defense industry and how secure and enterprise ready Mendix actually is and accepted by defense customers. Yetro, security items and how enterprise ready is Mendix. Can you spend a little bit of time there? It's a broader answer, but just high level.
Yeah. Without going into too many technicalities, there are quite some use cases even in the defense area. For example, the Dutch Ministry of Defense, where they use Mendix in all kinds of situations. So it's definitely secure. Key highlight I want to say is you can run Mendix in the cloud, in the Mendix cloud, in your own cloud, Azure, AWS, Google, or whatever you want, but even on your own hardware, completely confined in your own data center and even in your own factory, for example. So you can, from an infrastructural perspective, you can put it wherever you want. The platform itself has many certifications, and there's a white paper about all the measures Mendix has taken to be secure. It's really enterprise grade. Lots of big banks and insurance companies using it as well. Even in the utilities industry, where you have energy data from consumers, which is a highly regulated market, it's being used as well. So yes, it's definitely enterprise grade. I suggest whoever has this question, maybe drop me or one of the other or Vince an email, and we can set you up with some more details about the technicalities of security concepts. We can help you out there with additional information.
For sure. Thank you, Yetro. Another question for you. Actually, there were a few questions related to openness and integration. One, how does the Mendix platform integrate with other systems and how easily can it be done? Probably relates to Teamcenter, MindSphere, but also the SAPs of the world, and also related to integration of the templates. Somebody made a comment that these templates actually are pretty interconnected. How does that work from an integration perspective, Yetro?
Yeah, that's a good question. In general, when you zoom out, integration as a topic, Mendix has some tools to really easily facilitate integrations with other APIs. For example, REST APIs or SOAP web service APIs, but also lower level technology if you need to. There are tools which facilitate developers to build these integrations in a really flexible way. So that's when you go and do it yourself as a Mendix developer, then it's already very easy. But there's more, because for standardized integration, Mendix comes with what they call connectors, reusable connectors, which you can use. So for example, for MindSphere, Mendix and Siemens together have built a MindSphere connector, and for Teamcenter they did the same. And there are these connector kits which you can just drag and drop in your application, and it gives you access to all the let's say to all the the default or standardized calls you might want to do. So for example, if you want to get a bill of materials or a bill of material line item or update the bill of material line item, there are all standardized actions for that already. So you don't even have to think about what kind of web service or REST call do I have to do. No, you just use a prepackaged connector which contains all of these actions out of the box. Those type of actions are also there for SAP and for many other standardized platforms.
Great, and we have a fairly technical audience today. I just had a look, actually, people from Asia, Europe, Latin America, US, obviously. So it's great to see everybody posting questions. Here's another one for you, Yetro. For predictive maintenance, and also the template that we showed, but just in general, predictive maintenance with Mendix, are there built-in machine learning algorithms inside of Mendix, like linear regression, neural network, random forest? To what extent is it already there, configurable, or customizable, or perhaps leverage already something that's there?
Yes, this is where the integration part comes in. Mendix as a platform is a very rich toolbox, but it does not contain predictive maintenance algorithms. However, we consider this to be a good thing in terms of it allows you to integrate with external data sources or systems which do have those algorithms. For example, MindSphere. How we use for example, you saw the demo, me giving the demo on the predictive maintenance case with elevators. All of the elevator data, it resides in an IoT platform. There you have your very specialized analytics. These are sometimes also other development types, like data scientists who can build these algorithms. And these are exposed through REST APIs, and then Mendix as a platform leverages all the knowledge inside these specialized IoT platforms, for example, get do the analytics in the platform, and then only show the results of that analytic inside Mendix. This allows you to do plug and play. So you can say, well, I want to use this particular algorithm from Google, or maybe from Azure, or you want to do it yourself, or you have MindSphere. So you can connect different analytical engines, even TensorFlow for machine learning, and you can connect that to your Mendix application and visualize its results. So it's really flexible this way. This is the same way also how we let our smart app templates talk to each other. So you saw the predictive maintenance demo, and I also talked to you guys about automatically scheduling service requests for mechanics. Actually, what happens there is our auto planner application uses our predictive maintenance application as a data source. And when we see an elevator breaking down, the tickets are being transferred from the predictive maintenance application template to the automated planning template, and there it's being planned further. So you really have this plug and play microservices-based architecture where you can let these systems talk to each other. So Mendix systems with each other, but also Mendix systems talking to external systems and leveraging the capabilities of what's already there. So you don't have to replace everything. You can use what you have and put Mendix as an integration on top of that.
Great. So it's really a choice what you would actually use or actually build in Mendix. Okay, great. There are several questions around the pilot package. For those with those questions, I suggest to reach out to us directly. There are two questions related. Let me see. What kind of interface do you use for Mendix on top of Teamcenter? That relates back and ties back to full stack development, right? Because the interface is actually Mendix, correct?
Yeah, the user interface is Mendix, and the technical interface in terms of how do we get data out and also back in Teamcenter, that's done using the connector kit available in the Mendix App Store. So what we didn't show you or talk to you about is Mendix comes with an App Store, so it's not only your Mendix application platform. There is this IDE, this modeling environment where you build Mendix apps, but there's an App Store there, and if you search there, for example, for Teamcenter, you get to see the Teamcenter connector. You drag that in, and under the hood, that Teamcenter connector will do web service or REST API calls to your Teamcenter server. So as a Mendix developer, you don't have to bother with that. You just need to make sure that your Teamcenter is accessible, maybe through VPN, or you can take all kinds of security measures, of course. But once it's accessible for the Mendix application, it will do the calls. Yeah,
great. And I know we've got 1 minute left. There's about half a dozen other questions, including the 3D viewer. Those questions that haven't been answered, please connect with us directly. We're going to wrap it up. I really want to thank Matt and Yetro for participating. Thank you, guys. So what have we seen today? One, TimeSeries, an introduction, a partner that everybody can leverage in the context of Mendix and Siemens. We've provided you with an overview of Mendix and how powerful it is and what type of use cases you can apply this for, including the templates around predictive maintenance, automated planning that you can directly use, really as quick starts. We've shown you 2 demos. One is recorded. You can directly go to the website, share that internally, externally. I'm pretty sure you have ideas around your own project, so please feel free to reach out. And then we did a live demo, in this case, an elevator IoT use case, very powerful that you can probably apply to many industries and products. And then lastly, we've shown you what we can actually concretely do for you in terms of a pilot package, in terms of brainstorming, but also, of course, custom projects where we can help you with. I want to thank everybody for joining this webinar. We will be sending out the recording of this webinar after we close out. Please feel free to reach out to us via our website. This is just one of many webinars that we will be organizing, and we absolutely look forward to the next phase of Mendix, TimeSeries, and Siemens. So looking forward to collaborating. Thank you all.